Hi again, everybody. I thought next we would talk about what sets Young Living apart from other essential oil companies, because I know that you know there are tons out there. One of the main reasons I chose Young Living essential oils is their quality. Not only did I not want harmful ingredients in the things I use, but my thinking was basically if I tried the best quality oils out there and they didn't work for us, I would know oils were just not the way to go. But if I tried poorer quality oils and they didn't work, I would wonder whether it was all oils or it was just because they weren't high quality enough. So I would end up starting over anyway, most likely. I am a very research oriented person. I need to know exactly what I'm getting into. So I approached finding the best quality oils available just like I do anything else, research. The gist of what I learned is this: Young Living has complete control over their oils from selecting the seeds to plant all the way up until the bottles are sealed. No other company out there has that. And Young Living has far more stringent standards than any other company as well. They call this their seed to seal guarantee. If that's all you need to know, you're welcome to stop there. If you want to know why that matters, stick with me a few more minutes. And if you want to know how exactly they do what they do and just how stringent their standards are, stay with me all the way to the end. I promise I won't get too scientific and technical here, although if chemistry is your thing, I can direct you to that information. But for this video, let's start with just why purity is so important, and then just go a little more in depth into what makes Young Living different than other essential companies. In the United States, there is no rating system for essential oils. The closest we get is an FDA requirement that in order to label a bottle of essential oil pure or therapeutic grade, the contents of that bottle must contain at least 5% essential oil. 5%. That's it. That means 95% of the bottle can be who knows what, and it can still be labeled 100% pure. I don't know about you, but to me, that's terrifying. Products made entirely with certified organic ingredients and methods can be labeled 100% organic, while only products with at least 95% organic ingredients may be labeled simply organic. Both of those categories can display the USDA organic seal. A third category, which contains a minimum of 70% organic ingredients, can be labeled made with organic ingredients. Think about that for a second. When you grabbed your organic whatever off the shelf in the store, did you analyze the label to be certain it said 100%? Or did it just say made with organic? With 95% organic able to bear the seal of USDA organic, this quite possibly means you just paid a lot of money for nothing. 5% can easily be synthetics, chemicals, and fillers. And that's just the organic stuff. With the essential oils, it's 95% synthetics, chemicals, and fillers. We have 100 trillion cells in our bodies, and that's a lot. But one drop of essential oils contains enough molecules to cover every one of those cells with 40,000 molecules. That's why it takes so little, just a drop or two, for the desired result from the oils. That's why, just like air, it's beneficial when breathed in. This is why when you put it on your skin, the tiny particles sink into your pores and are in every cell in your body in less than half an hour. This would also be why purity matters. Anything added to the essential oil, synthetic, chemical, filler, pesticides, or weed killer on the plant, anything added is going right along with those oil molecules all the way to your brain, surrounding all the cells in your body. That is why Young Living Seed to Seal guarantee is so important, because that's the only way to know what goes into that bottle of essential oil. No other company has that. No other company can guarantee the purity of their essential oils because they don't have control over it the entire time. They buy it from third parties and rebottle it. Again, if that's all you needed to know about that, you can stop here. Next, we're going a little more in depth into how Young Living does it best. Young Living is the only essential oil company with their own farms, and Young Living is all about sustainable and organic farming. They have 10 farms and distilleries around the world so that plants can grow in their natural climate, the climate they thrive in. They won't plant on soil that has ever been touched by chemicals. They won't even use organic pesticides because it changes the DNA of the oil. Essential oils are used for pest control on the farms. The plants are hand weeded, so don't be surprised if you visit one of the farms, which anyone is welcome to do. If there are still weeds in the rows of plants, or when they hand you some gloves and ask you to go pull weeds, that it's all done by hand. Most of the farms have distilleries on site so that the plants are distilled at the exact right time. All of the farms have labs on site to test for the therapeutic compounds in the proper percentages. Young Living waits for the harvest time to come, and then for a few days they'll grab a snippet of a plant and test the sugar levels of the plant. Sometimes this could mean several tests in a day, but they wait until the levels are just right, and only then does the harvest begin, because they want to make sure that they're completely maximizing the benefits of these plants. Once they're harvested, the plants either go straight to the distiller, or for some plants they have to sit for a while so the properties of the plant are at their best, because the plant doesn't know it's cut down. It just thinks it has an injury. And the best way for a plant to heal itself is to amp up the production of all those compounds to aid in regeneration. For example, with peppermint, it's sun-dried for 3 days for it to be at peak levels before it's distilled. Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, has literally tutored at the feet of the best essential oil distillers in the world. He traveled the world studying distillation and distilleries, and then would come back to his farms in Idaho and Utah and build, rebuild, tweak, and improve upon making his own distilleries. He would add technology that would make the process even more precise. Through his distillation research, he would test and test and test and discover the intricacies and small tweaks of time, temperature, and pressure to see what would create the best essential oils. He would test for known molecular compounds and determine what percentages of the main compounds would make for the most therapeutic essential oils. Most companies will distill for an hour or two. Time is money. The faster they get the product out there, the faster they sell it and get the money. Gary tests all the plants to see what their distillation time is and when they will yield the most therapeutic compounds. Take cedarwood, for example. Distilled for a few hours, it yields a handful of compounds identifiable by science to be beneficial. Distilled for over 20 hours, it yields hundreds, well over 300 scientifically identifiable compounds. With their world-leading testing and research, Young Living has determined the exact time to harvest and the exact hours needed to distill each plant. And they do not cut corners. They want it to be the best it can be, because otherwise, what is the point? Once distilled, it's tested in-house in their state-of-the-art labs about a dozen different times throughout the process, and then it is third-party tested to ensure Young Living's results are correct. If a batch of essential oils is found to be less than stellar in any way, it isn't sold. Young Living has pioneered the entire essential oils industry. giving pure essential oils used for therapeutic use a rebirth in the world. Their library, compiled from all of the testing of essential oil batches and the compounds within them, is unmatched anywhere else in the world. To give you an example of just how far this company goes to ensure you are getting the highest quality, most therapeutic essential oil nature can provide, one of my favorite Young Living stories is that about Idaho balsam fir. It took Gary Young, the founder, almost a decade to figure out the best way to distill this tree. At first, taking a tree and distilling in spring, he discovered there were few available compounds beneficial to using the oil. Why even bother? Then the summer, there were even fewer. Fall, a few more compounds, but a winter harvest in several feet of snow, in negative-degree temperatures, yielded an essential oil with hundreds of scientifically identifiable compounds known to be beneficial to the human body. Why? Well, when Gary and the scientists at Young Living began researching, they discovered something which makes perfect sense once you know about it, but it's not something you really think about. Idaho balsam fir, it's a conifer tree. It's made to weather the harshest, coldest, most extreme conditions through the winter. And you see, the essential oils are in the tree. In the summer, they're down, way down, deep in the soil, through hundreds of feet of roots. To get to them, you would need to dig up all the roots of this tree. But in the winter, the essential oils come up from the roots and flood into every branch, every needle, every fiber of this tree to help it sustain and thrive despite conditions that would kill most other trees. So to get the essential oils at their best, you have to harvest at that time. Is it fun being out in negative 20-degree weather in the snow, hauling trees out of a thick forest with horses? No. But Gary saw it had to be done, and so they do it. He, along with members and staff from all over the world, head to Idaho and freeze their butts off so we can have the essential oil at its best. And then came the distillation. Most companies distill at super high temperatures for an hour or two, then purify and bottle it. Their sole goal is to get the oil in the bottle, not Young Living. Gary tested balsam fir distillation for an hour, 2, 4, up to more than 20 hours to see where the best distillation time is measured for this tree. Could he have distilled and bottled spring, summer, or fall? Yes, he could. But he isn't looking to fill the bottle. If he were, this would work. Other companies do this. Idaho balsam fir might smell like the fir tree, but it would be lacking all those incredible compounds that make it the immune boosting, strengthening, grounding essential oil that people love. And I'm sure you're noticing a trend. Young Living is not like other companies.